Ladies and gentlemen, here's a look inside the Reno Sparks Livestock Event Center here in Reno, Nevada, the biggest little city in the world. And inside this building, the 2025 High Desert Hustle is about to take place here over the next 4 days. Inside this building, this is the $10,000 Twin Outlaw Kart race that we tackled in February of 2024. That was the first annual, the inaugural event in the 18T. We had a crazy photo finish. We were able to bring home the big payday. Now it's technically like move-in day. You know, for all the big indoor events, they always have like a move-in day where they're finishing up the racetrack, and then of course trailers and cars, everyone has to get unloaded because some guys are parking in the building, some are parking outside the building. I'm sure we're gonna have well over, maybe 200 carts at this event. I think that's a good number. We're gonna have a lot of entries, especially in my division. My division alone could have over 100 carts just in the 500 open adult class. Now this is a one-time deal, so they are just building the racetrack as we speak, or finishing it up. And if you remember last year, I feel like it was similar to Red Bluff in ways, less banking for sure. This year though, they took a whole new approach. We basically went from like more of a flat track style racing to we're basically at Talladega or Daytona. Maybe one of the most banked outlaw kart tracks I've ever seen. You can see everything's still a little uneven here, but I mean, it doesn't, even the camera, you can see it. I always say cameras don't do things justice, but like there's so much banking on this corner, so much on that corner, like you can just tell. Here, let me get a better angle to show you how much banking there is. You can always tell by how much dirt's built up on the backside. Like that right there, that's quite impressive. That's nuts. The fencing's a little different this year, and hopefully it's able to hold up. With this much banking, the racetrack's gonna have much higher speeds, I believe, because naturally that's just gonna, create grip and hold the car into the racetrack. It's gonna keep rotating. You're gonna carry more speed on entry, which is gonna lead to more momentum throughout the corner. I really think this is gonna be quite interesting. I'm definitely still continuing to form my opinion on what I think and what the racetrack's gonna be like, but we're gonna walk up to the backstretch, see if we can get an even closer look. So here's a look as they're kind of finishing up some of the final touches in 3 and 4. And then down here in 1 and 2, kind of kneeling down. That's not the greatest angle, but it definitely goes straight up to the wall. Now, one thing I do like, if you're gonna have this much banking, I think the top's gonna need a cushion, because see, this material, it's so sandy. You can just feel it. It's not really the type to stay together. It unfortunately kind of comes apart and it gets really, really dirty. So when you have this much banking, or just with this material in general, in order to keep cars off the bottom, I think you're gonna have something to lean on the top. So we'll see how that plays out, but they've been going around and just trying to literally build material on the wall. Now, if that works, I'm not really sure. I do think that's your best bet if you're trying to achieve a racetrack like this. That's kind of why Shawnee works, because they have a really, really good cushion, but it's also a much different material, I would say, than what we're working with here. But gonna be optimistic. We're just gonna see how this all works out. Obviously, they're putting in a ton of effort, so we're happy to see that. Hopefully, we can just get a really, really good racetrack. Right now, we're about 24 hours from cars being on track and kicking off the 4 days, and at the end of it, someone's gonna be walking out of here with $10,000, and hopefully it's us going back to back. So as we roll into Monday now of High Desert Hustle Week, this is officially the first night of the event, except the open class is not competing, because as they restructured the format this year, each division has one night off. So the opens don't run tonight, and they did that because they're actually running the whole non-wing program today. Then the non-wing guys can put their wings on and race Tuesday through Thursday, while other divisions get breaks during the week. And with all this, you can see the factory carts here in the background. They made it to Reno, and we've just been hanging out all day. Definitely been keeping an eye on the racetrack. They're still pretty early in the program right now, but with all the divisions running, we're kind of getting a taste of what this layout and format of the racetrack with all the banking is going to look like. And it could change as well, but an opportunity like this is just a chance to kind of study and get prepared for the entire week. The house carts, though, are looking good. Jimmy has been putting so much effort. He always does into all of our cars, but for a big event like this, we're coming prepared. So as the first laps of the week are going on, the racetrack was showing all of its normal characteristics. Extremely slick, sandy, the bottom kind of being the dominant lane, and even early on in the show, a car went out of the ballpark.
Oh, very long, Gary. Just kind of went up and then Dukes a hazard, up and through, yeah.
If this was Thunderbolt Raceway, that would have been good. We've seen a few drivers do that over the years, but yeah, that chain link doesn't quite keep you in.
Well, all four tires were up on the actual chain link.
Wow.
above the orange there for just a little bit.
So that was crazy, and even crazier that Fast 4 caught that on camera. The main battle, though, that they've been struggling with so far throughout the night was just trying to get the racetrack off the bottom. Even with all the banking, I talked about it being sandy and dirty. And with how much banking the bottom has, all the cars can make plenty of speed there, and you can't run any farther up because you'll literally spin out as there's like a huge layer of dust. Now they tried to rework the track, they tried to blow it off with leaf blowers, but so far that has been the challenge of the night. As they've ran every single class, it has not really changed. The bottom has been the dominant line. Well, they're ripping up the racetrack now. The first night of the High Desert Hustle is complete. We got a chance to see what the racetrack was like tonight. I won't lie, you guys know I'm always 100% completely honest here on the channel. And let me just say, what these guys are doing here is one of the tallest tasks in all of motorsports. Like a one-off event, putting in a racetrack. I told you we're not necessarily working with material that we would probably choose to work with. And yeah, this was basically the racing line all night. I mean, like, you didn't run higher than there. If you did, you were losing a position or you were spinning out. Not one guy, I think, made a pass on the outside. I mean, you can see, I mean, this right here, this is like a sandbox up here with all the dust. So I want to say, I mean, I give them credit because throughout the night, they were trying to do anything to get it off the bottom, but I just think this material, the more you work it, the more water you add to it, the dirtier it gets. And I don't want to seem like I'm the expert and a dirt guy, but just from observing last year and observing this year, I'm just worried about this track layout with the banking because I think the bottom has too much banking and the top is never, ever gonna clean off. I don't know, I could be wrong, but it's just I don't know if enough guys are gonna make the choice to go up there. I don't think you can add it, I don't think you can create enough grip in the racetrack unless the whole surface went rubber, which I think is gonna be another tall task as well. So just feeling a little nervous about the week with the racetrack. As far as where we're at, no matter what they give us as a driver, we have to go out there and give it 110%. That is our job. That's my job behind the wheel. Doesn't matter if they give us a flat track, a Talladega, or you could say a figure eight. That's my job. I got to go out there and try to get the 18T in victory lane. So we're going to do all we can. I, of course, just want to see a speedway where we can race hard, put on a good show, pass, and make something happen. And like I said, tonight, there just wasn't that opportunity, but they're working on it behind me. Wanted to give you guys the update. The whole point of this video was to fill you in on what the High Desert Hustle for this week is hopefully gonna go. The whole point of today's show is to kind of give you an idea of what this High Desert Hustle is gonna look like, and hopefully they just keep working at it. We can kind of turn things around and get a surface where we can put on a great show for all the fans that are gonna be here in Reno, Nevada. But anyway, we're gonna be at it tomorrow. Like I said, all we can focus on is our job and getting the 18T a shot at winning another $10,000. So thank you so much for watching. We are gonna get some sleep and be back after it for night number 2. Deuces.